Alrighty, everybody, welcome. And I am just trying to get a quick start on a first video, so don't judge me too hard. Still getting used to this setup. After dealing with everything today, let's get into it. Well, we can start off with all the different lines that you obviously see on here. This is the S&P 500. And we got lines going back all the way to 95. Trends starting in 2002. And then really the most recent trend we are riding in 2009. I have all these trend lines on here because they have all sooner or later come into play. And they are there for a reason. So if we get a little bit closer, this is obviously your March lows. And this is just the absolute stampede we have been on. The undeniable bull run. But when will it end? All these boxes or gaps. If they are lighter colors, they've been filled. If we can go down to even an hourly trend, we've really been hovering around the red one, which is really the lows of our March trend. And we popped above it on a gap. I think that was Friday. Monday, one of those. But we popped above it, and now here we are, getting rejected again and again here at this nice little trend line. Let's say this morning we gapped above it, because that's the trend. Come to a gap, or come to a support or a resistance line, and of course you just gap past it. It gapped above it, and now we're just kind of hovering here. Kind of looks like we closed below the 5 and the 10. We bounced off the 20 on an hourly. And we are just hovering in between, again, this red low trend line back from March. And I call it a top trend line, which has been a cap for a breakthrough from this trend. Getting rejected time and time again, but still grinding up. Let's see real quick. If we look on the momentum side of it, we are losing momentum, more and more momentum, as the price is really just going sideways. So I kind of suspect we bounce off this red trend. If and when that happens, that'll tell you whether to look to below or back to this resistance line. It can only coil up for so long, but that is what I am looking for. On the SPY, I really don't watch the SPY as opposed to just the actual S&P. Its lows trend line are all the way up here. This is a secondary trend. These black lines are more accurate than our current trend, and these are trends back from 2009, I believe. And we just broke out of that one. To really hit a recovery trend, in my opinion. Price is steady going up. Momentum is just sideways. So you can only keep that up for so long. Same thing goes with the NASDAQ, the triple Qs. Don't really follow those as well. But here's your trend line. This is one back from 2016. I'm sure you can find a better one. It's just hovering in between this channel. Grinding higher. Flat momentum. The Russell, on the other hand, is just high flying. Absolutely high flying and losing momentum. So I would absolutely suspect to come down to at least the 20 at 206. If not the trend around 202 to 203. Nothing can stay up forever. It's obviously going to need a pullback. This one took forever. Had a little bit of pullback, but kept going. Momentum was not sideways, but in its favor at that time. To note, not right here at this time. So we'll see how that plays out. I kind of suspect a down day tomorrow. All the futures are down. The S&P, well, it doesn't really say. The SPY seems to be up. The Qs are up. The IWs are down. Alright, whatever. We'll switch to gold. Gold was absolutely completely flat today. No movement. Just a nice coiling in between the 20 and the 200-day moving average. Just consolidating for a movement either up or down. And this is kind of moving along the line with the dollar, but we will get to the dollar in a little bit. What I more along the lines want to show you is these longer trends, even in gold. You know, our dollar has been downtrending and up for an awfully long time. This is a monthly chart in the dollar. This is a monthly chart in the gold. Complete opposite, right? Well, we see our absolute trend is the black one, kind of secondary, but the trend we're in right now is this lighter gray one. If go to a weekly, we are just in this down channel, what looks to me straight to this secondary trend line. We'll call it 1780 to 1800. If that breaks as support, lower price, low momentum, I have no issues of seeing gold down to 1300 to 1350. That is just what the trend says. And I see gold as a long-term hold, but within the next year, or as this dollar continues to rise, as it just started to, we will see some correlation. for the longest time now, in just about the market as a whole, the dollar has been moving down, and of course everything else has been moving up except for certain things like gold. Gold generally moves in opposite as the dollar. TOT, bonds, long-term bonds, they kind of move with the dollar. That's how the dollar makes their money. Anyways, long story short, the dollar is finally starting to move up after this long downtrend. Gold should have been moving up as the dollar was moving down, right? Well, it wasn't, and I think it's time to play catch up with the dollar. Finally starting to catch a little bottom here. But we'll move on to a second. We're getting to there. Silver, just real quick. Silver is kind of, in my opinion, right there along with gold. There really is no trend line that you can use for gold or silver, except to the correlation of gold. That's how I look at silver. When I know gold is going to go up, I kind of usually bet silver will go up right along with it. But that's just me. That's my own personal opinion. Yes, anyways. I don't really have anything to say about silver because I don't follow it much. Can't say the chart's looking bearish or bullish. On a daily, the 100 crossed under the 50. That's bullish. But 20 is just kind of sloping down towards, so we're going to be sandwiched in between 2410 and 2030 till momentum price or the dollar breaks us to the upper downside of that range. Bitcoin. I can't believe people still follow Bitcoin, but I will cover it for you guys. Plain and simple. Have this just tremendous uptrend, like a line you could even redraw 100 times. But the point of it is 100% green, kind of looks like a mountaintop. 90% red. Not going to be one to forecast levels into Bitcoin, but it is on a clear, obvious downtrend, so I wouldn't fight it till you find obvious signs of a trend change, as in this right here. The lower low got down to 2880. Momentum went up. 30, 28, higher moment. Ever since it's been consolidating, still following this downtrend, but still consolidating. So you can kind of watch this channel. Say a break of 35, set you down further, or 34,500. It's kind of going to be your cap or your signal that it might go forward with our general markets with a call ratio. It says we're down. I can't read the bar chart, the call ratio. I know you guys. Don't judge me. These lines are our support. Very, very, very bullish. As of right now, right back up there on the borderline. Okay, sorry about that. More of the story. Put call is still bullish, still on the bullish line, even though the futures are down three points on the S&P 500. The VIX today. See, we saw the spike yesterday, all the way up to 26. Today we opened at 23.9, 24, and lower today. So momentum sideways, price grinding up. Fear is slowly leaving the market. Slowly, but still there. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Then we got the bonds. Okay, we're gonna do the bonds and the dollar and the yields kind of together. I know all of my charts, I have a lot of lines, but I follow all of these lines. If there's an alarm on it, it's only there because I want to know if price goes above or below that price. Obvious, okay? We're looking at these on a daily. The TLT's finally picking up, hitting this dark, long trend line that I have all the way back from long time, guys, long time. The top, kind of the top of all time. And we have been downtrending since. This downtrend has been fueling the market on an uptrend. It's in April or March, right there. And here we go. Now we're coming to a top. A lot of people, I think this big red candle was a lot of people also seeing that. It broke below it. Now we're coming in to back test it. It may absolutely break it and come up and tag this red line, which is kind of our current trend, uptrend. But that all kind of depends on the dollar. We are with TLT daily. Looks like it's getting rejected, losing momentum right there at that long-term trend line that I showed you. Not trying to fill this gap at all. Same thing with the yields. I don't have any trend lines marked with yields, but and bonds were first. This nice rip up in yields. Bond had a nice rip down. Go to recover. Here we go to back test. And yields are catching slight momentum. Little grip of momentum, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of see, I really have to look closer into the hourly, I suppose. Prices are kind of going sideways. Momentum is going up. It might go in for a gap fill, but it's just going to continue down after that. It's just the trend. This might go up for a gap fill, but it's just going to down after that. Switching over to the dollar, we'll put it on a weekly so you can see this is the whole history of the dollar. All the way from 124 to 71. Okay. We have major major support of these black lines. That is where we currently are. We have support outside of these black lines, which are these light gray lines. I feel like all of these lines are pretty good support or resistance lines, but we're getting closer to the dollar. To here we are. Today, everything's been kind of sideways. If I just close in on the 30, everything, in my opinion, is finally starting to realize that it correlates with the dollar. Yes, it's been going down. It caught a bid. The markets didn't catch on, but they slightly do. As in the high, kind of the high of today in the dollar, say 11:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30, was the low of today in the S&P. 11:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30. So they are trying to correlate to an extent. If we look at the dollar, I kind of just see us following this downtrend line. Here we are, our two black lines. Here, we'll change this one so we know what we're looking at. Trend line. Support, support. Here we are. This was finally our bottom. We caught up. We've been following this, and then we broke. Now we're just kind of hovering, and I feel like right now, you just release the gate, and now we're just going to break in between this trend line and this trend line, because these are only going to go up and just up and down, and we could do that for months. We have before. Going back to 2018, we were in here from January to April, 4 months of sideways movement right here in between these lines. 18, let's see, April, January, caught a cap, a forecasted top, if you will. We call that by one of our previous trend lines. We're not going to go back to that one, but that's why they're there. January, the dollar, we'll say the dollar hit a bottom, started going back up, sideways, sideways, sideways. And then it went, started to catch a bid back up. Yet, so did the market. So, look at it as you will. In a perspective, the dollar and the market is connected, but other things are going to move the market to blind this right here. You don't get to see this movement in the market. It just grinds up as the dollar's going up, which doesn't happen. You'll catch a sudden break, December, but that is, I feel like that's just people finally realizing, hey, the dollar has moved $8 since the last time you looked at it. Do you think that affects your calculations? Oh shit, maybe. So then it finally drops. And your feds came in and bought it up. So maybe we'll just call it the big manipulation word. I'm not sure if we can say that. But anyways, let's move on. That is the general market I wanted to show you today. Just again, just to get this video out there. Microsoft had its earnings today. Just to put in my 2 cents on it. Microsoft had its earnings. its high is all the way up here. It closed at its high at 232, 233, and pre-market after earnings it jumped up to 244, like 245, you guys. And I'm gonna say the momentum, unless it picks up tomorrow morning, unless you guys can catch this on an open, this is going to be a divergent high, and I feel like it's going to do the same thing Netflix is doing. Netflix caught a good earning, sure, but it gapped up. It's the same thing Microsoft is going to do tomorrow morning, and it's been on a steady downcline ever since. AMD got good earnings. They closed. Where did they close? I don't think that's where they closed. Yeah, you see, guys, they closed at 94. I watched them rise all the way to almost 100, and now, yes, they're back at 94. But you get what I'm saying. Keep your eye out for those. Tomorrow, we have earnings for Tesla. This big coil. It's either going to break to the upside or down. I am going to assume the up. It's only the trend that it's been on. So if you want to call it top, there'd be the time to do it for you guys. Apple has a earnings coming tomorrow. After the bell, I believe. Before. I don't know. Either way. Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, all of these are Fang Man stocks are coming out with earnings. So look out for those. Opportunities all over and everywhere. Alright. Another one I have been shorting. Again, I caught it up here. My alarm caught me. Simply put the alarm in, set the alarm. It's like, bing, hey, look at me. I am a divergent high. Alright, shorted that one. I think I deleted my line, you guys, but your divergent high. Divergences don't always play out, so don't bash me completely on this one, but look at your PPO, the crossover, and then your rejection. That would have been your sign on your PPO, guys. Downtrend. Finally get the line. Finally get your line, and then it breaks. Breaks it just to come down and back test. But as it's back testing, it's trying to create a divergent low. 101.61. 101.81. Hasn't technically made your divergent low yet. 101.61 is what we need. 101.61. Before I forget, we'll go down closer to say to a 30-minute. We could just come down to back test this early tomorrow morning. Pick up that 101.61. There's no way the momentum's going to get all the way down here, create your divergence, and possibly bounce right back up. Or we could continue this. I don't have a line on it. Caught that one. Caught an upside on that one with no line. Strictly divergences. So, say what you will. We got a 200 hour at $100.50. Hourly divergence at 101.61. Maybe it's already been played out. Maybe you want to buy at 101.61. That's a divergence. Of course, the next day has a higher chance of being up on that. It's at least a slight gain if you have nothing else. Same thing with Jack. I caught this one on the upside. I wrote it down to 99.5, I think. Um, anyways, I watched it go all the way back up. I swear I set an order for 104 and it did not go through. I was so upset, but anyways, I caught it back down at 102 and I rode it all the way down. I might still have some jack, you guys. No, I don't think so because it's not red. We're almost done. Jesus. Okay, we got a couple more left. I caught these off divergences and I didn't catch it going up. Like, oh my god, it's at 103.50 on a divergent. Should I short it? No, because it went up another dollar. 50 cents to a dollar. Okay, a percent probably. Enough to make you say, well, yeah, almost a full percent. Well, maybe I should get out. Maybe that's your stop limit. You kind of have to watch it reverse on your divergences and go down in your favor. After I saw it drop from 104 to 102 with no momentum at all, I really suspected a drop down to here, which it did. Just kind of have to look at your chart, do your own technical analysis, and see where it's playing out for you guys. This one, I really see a bounce from here, just a bounce, maybe a little above this 50. The 50 is still going up. All of these are slanted up. Only thing that's changed is these that are ducking and weaving. Everything's still kind of grinding up. So maybe we go in for another back test of a divergent high number 3. We'll see. But on the flip note, nope, not a flip note, another short. Okay, guys, this was an earnings, and I am in this short because I am going to assume it's the same thing as Netflix. It had a 0.04 surprise. Netflix had a 0.14 positive surprise. Nothing important. Just going to ride this down to the gap fill at 166 for a 2.61% gain. Simply because I didn't see anything else. I'd appreciate anything you guys are watching. If you want me to cover something, put it in the comments, let me know, and I could put it on the video and cover it for you, let you know my thoughts on it. Oh, same thing with Ford. Again with the shorts. I am not a bearish person, you guys. I am very bullish. I'm 50-50. Anyways, I think we go if on a weekly. On a weekly, these are very support lines in here. Downtrend. Been on a massive downtrend since COVID. So COVID was almost the top. And we've been going down since. Except here, we finally caught a divergence. You see this cluster? This cluster that almost made it all the way up before it even moved because it had been downtrending for so long. That probably caught a weekly divergence. It took so long. But it shot it up, and all we are doing is retesting these support lines. And today, let's see, let's get in closer, let's get in closer, let's get in closer. Today, we didn't do anything but gap up. We gapped up, I'm assuming because of this line. That is typically a confirmation of a breakout. Not only do you get a full candle or a gap and then a full candle, you got your candle and then your gap and then a confirmation candle, but this is almost a island cluster reversal in my opinion. So I am at least bringing it down to, again, the gap fill at 1086, 3%. Here is one of my bullish stocks, you guys. Told you I'm not 100% bearish. Boeing has been just a hideous downtrend. Energy has been doing the same thing. So if you've been watching XLE, you will know what Boeing in general is doing. XLE has been dropping. I don't necessarily see XLE catching a bottom, but I do see a daily divergence in Boeing, which would have been this day. Yeah, that day opened here, closed here, kind of gapped up because everybody else seen it. We're still continuing our downtrend. Probably closed on it. I think we broke it. That may have been a test of it. I just see this positive divergence. We could even head lower tomorrow. If we head lower, we still even have potential to go lower at a bullish divergence. Giving you opportunity for getting this stock at a cheaper price. Okay, it's just one a mini. This blue line is really the long trend line that I would eventually, it's going to get back up there. Okay, this is one of my other bullish trends that I see. It's just a nice long trend. I don't have one drawn out, but what I do see is it caught a top and it dropped. Hasn't necessarily put in a bullish divergence, but it is bullish chart. Higher highs, higher lows. Momentum is going up. PPO on a daily is expanding. Could absolutely come in to tag each other. On an hourly, we have been on an uptrend. I want something below this, but our divergent low would be 111.61. Put a buy on that, and if it goes through, I think you're more likely to catch a positive off that than not. Back up to the 200 at 13. Well, 2% gain, 3% at the 100. And our last one. This is Dominion. I think we might be reaching a top on this one, just because of an hourly divergence, but we could absolutely extend. We hit our 200 on the hourly, but what I wanted to show you guys is I was watching this one ever since Buffett took it over. I just been watching the downtrend, and I caught this hourly divergence right there. My little green line right there, I caught that one. Yeah, I wish I got it there, but I think it was too early. I'm not fully awake at that time, right? I caught it here, and it had been going up ever since. I think I even exited right here on this support line. Anyways, point is, this was one of my my bullish ones. If we go to a daily, we still have plenty of gains to go. I would expect a pullback after 4 days of green in a row, but we could still go 3% to 6% to 7.5% easily. Have earnings coming up on it, the 12th. Earnings is really just 50-50 on up and down on that. But for the most part, that is all I have for you guys. this is really my watch list. I don't have anything besides the AMC and GameStop I don't want to hear about. But PC&G, another utility company. I don't know if you guys seen this one. I have been shorting this one. Only because, look at that. Come on. Look at my green line right there. How could you not? How could you not? Yeah, you guys. I'm not a financial advisor. Anything I say is my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. Full disclosure. Um, like, subscribe, and I will do more of these. Let me know what you think, and if you have any stocks in the comments you would like for me to look at, because I always love the opportunity. So thank you guys, and have a good night.